her. She's not answering the phone.
Okay, we'll let her in when she comes in. It is 4 minutes after 6. We're fixing to start the meeting. Sheriff, will you call us to order, please?
I'm sorry.
Will you call us to order?
Yes, I'm not going to ask any of you to stand up, but this commission meeting for April 20th, 2020 is now in session.
Mayor, will you lead us in prayer, please?
Yes, sir. Everyone, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we're so thankful for this beautiful spring day and this spring season and this time of uncertainty and the challenges that we face. We pray you'll be with our community, our families, the 3 cases that remain positive with the COVID-19. Lord, go and strengthen them, heal them, now we pray. Strengthen their families as we go forward. We pray for our first responders and emergency responders. Be with them, protect them, put a hedge of protection around them, dear Lord, and keep them safe. And for our commissioners tonight and leaders across this county, we pray that you'll bring wisdom to the decision and direction that they place the county. Keep us safe, Lord. Keep us in the palm of your hands, and we'll give you the praise and the glory. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Whitley, will you do the pledge for us so there's only one voice? Mr. Weekly.
Yes, sir. I have 2 little helpers. Zoe Malton and Zoe Brooke Weekly is going to help me with the pledge, if that's okay.
Sounds excellent.
Here we go. We got to look at the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Mr. Weekly, thank you, and thank your helpers.
They wanted to help, so.
Please note, Mr. Eason, are you there?
I am.
Please note that Mr. Rowe is connecting to the meeting at 6:06.
Okay.
And call the roll, please.
David Anderson.
Here.
Gary Binkley.
It's good.
I'm going to count Miss Ann present because I see her connecting. Tim Williamson.
Here.
Chris Gilmore.
Here.
Connie Mayo. Donnie Jordan.
Here.
Walter Weekly.
Here.
Dinah Lovell.
Here.
Eugene Evans.
Here.
Ed Greer.
Here.
Randy Lyles.
Here.
I have 12 present and 0 absent.
I declare that we have enough to have a quorum. Do I have a motion from anyone on the agenda?
Motion to approve.
I didn't see a hand, I don't know. Ms. Lovell made a motion to approve. Mr. Anderson has seconded the motion. Is that correct, Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Yes, you have to speak. We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any other discussions on it? Anyone? I hate to ask that, but call the roll because I can't do it the other way. Ms. Teresa.
Diana Lovell.
Yes.
Eugene Evans.
Yes.
Ed Greer.
Yes.
Randy Lyles.
Yes.
David Anderson.
Yes.
Gary Binkley.
Gary has dropped out. 6:08.
Ann Giroux.
She's trying to connect the audio.
Tim Williamson.
Tim.
He's on. Tim's on.
Tim's muted.
Tim, can you hear? Tim, can you? Tim. Keep going and come back to him.
Chris Gilmore.
Yes.
Connie Mayo. Donnie Jordan.
Yes.
Walter Weekly.
Yes.
I have 10 yes, 2 that could not answer. Miss Ann, can you hear me? Yes, and 2 that could not respond. Could not
Thank you.
respond.
I declare that we have enough to approve the agenda. We have a motion on the minutes.
Motion.
I don't see it. Mr. Chris Gilmore, motion for approval of minutes. We have a second. Mr. Anderson has seconded the motion. Any discussion on the minutes? I guess we'll call the roll again.
Chris Gilmore,
Yes.
Connie Mayo, Johnny Jordan,
Yes.
Walter Weekly,
Yes.
Diane Lovell,
Yes.
Eugene Evans,
Yes.
Ed Greer,
Yes.
Randy Lyles,
Yes.
David Anderson,
Yes.
Gary Binkley, Ann Giroux, Tim Williamson.
Yes.
And I have 10 yes, 2 that did not respond.
Thank you. Declare that that motion has passed. Mr. Rowe, can you hear us? Mr. Rowe? Why can't she hear us, Tim? Did you, can you hear us, Mr. Rowe? Dropped off. Where is she?
Hover over her and make sure she's not muted. Go up to the little note. No, she should be there.
Mr. Rowe, do you hear us? I can't get Mr. Rowe to respond. Is there any unfinished business? for anyone? Not seeing any unfinished business. Mr. Mayor, we're yours.
Thank you, Chairman Jordan. You should have in your packet the consent agenda of items to bring to your attention this evening. Item number 1, vote for mayor's signature on the Nashville machine elevator contract. Item number 2, vote for the mayor's signature on the Securus Technologies LLC for memorandum of understanding amendment for video visitation at the jail. Item number 3, vote for mayor's signature on Peru renewal contract for inmate medical insurance.
Yeah.
Number 4, Mobley lawn care bid for lawn care for the county properties. Item number 5, vote for the mayor's signature on memorandum of agreement with the town of Ashland City for emergency services at Petway Fire Station. Item number 6, vote for resolutions withdrawing Cheatham County's participation in the state of Tennessee's 401k 457 deferred compensation plans. Item number 7, vote on resolution for approval of accounting office work at home order in accordance with the state of Tennessee Executive Order number 16 due to COVID-19 virus. Item number 8, vote employee pay during the COVID-19 emergency. Item 9, vote for the mayor's signature on a 5-year agreement with Bi-County Solid Waste Board.
Do I have a motion for anyone to approve? Mr. Anderson, are you making the motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Williamson. Mr. Rowe, do you hear us?
I'm here.
Okay. Is there any of those items that anyone wishes to discuss? Mr. Gilmore? Any of them? No. You're muted. Greer, do you have anything else to discuss? Mr. Williamson?
No.
Mr. Evans?
No.
Ms. Mayo? Ms. Lovell?
No.
Mr. Rowe? You have any of those items read that you would discuss?
No.
Mr. Anderson?
No.
Mr. Lyles?
No.
Mr. Weekly?
No.
No.
Jordan,
I'm sorry?
On the grass cutting, they gonna cut the fire departments too?
No, sir, this is county, I mean, you're talking about like our county properties?
Yes.
Now, this is basically the county properties that we've had. The fire departments were not included in this.
I want to know.
Okay.
What I do when it's over?
Mr. Mayor, can you explain number 6 to us, please?
Number 6, absolutely, Chairman. The vote on the resolution is withdrawing Cheatham County's participation in the state of Tennessee 401k and 457 deferred compensation plans. This actually takes in a total of 8 of our employees of over 200. And this has, I want to make sure everybody's clear, this has nothing to do with our regular retirement. That it doesn't impact that at all. Our regular retirement that's available for employees that we have in, nothing changes on that. There are 2 additional plans we wrote about years ago that employees could take advantage of if they wanted to. It'd be deducted from their paycheck. There's no match from the county. And of course, the state has farmed this out to a company called Empower out of Colorado. And basically it was going on for a year, and this company finally notified us that they had these employees here and was looking for these deductions, but they never that they needed deductions taken on those. So anyway, we've been running around with the state. This started back in the fall, trying to get all this straightened out. Still couldn't get it straight, and so once again, so the county's not liable for these payments that we didn't even know we were supposed to be withdrawing from the employees. We've requested to withdraw from this. And employees, the 8 that are in the program, they can either cash and go to another program with no tax impact on them, or they get their money back. But once again, there's no, they do have the ability to do that if they so choose.
Everyone understand? Abby, Ms. Gupton,
Yes,
Mr. Binkley came back from the meeting at 6:15.
we've noted that.
Thank you. Anybody with any other questions on those agreements? Please call the roll. Not seeing anybody.
David Anderson,
Yes.
Gary Binkley,
Yes.
Dan Giroux,
Yes.
Tim Williamson,
Yes.
Chris Gilmore,
Yes.
Connie Mayo,
Yes.
Donnie Jordan,
Yes.
Walter Weekly,
Yes.
Diane Lovell,
Yes.
Eugene Evans,
Yes.
Ed Greer,
Yes.
Randy Lyles.
Yes.
12 yes, 0 no.
Declare the motion has passed. Anyone have any other questions for the mayor?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I wanted to, of course, I missed it because I was out, but on the lawn care, was there any other bids besides Mobley?
I think there was a total of 6. Sandrine's with us if she can recall. I think there were 6 companies that bid on that.
Okay.
They were the low bid. They were the low bid first time getting it done, and they've been in business for a while. So yeah, we did have, it's either 5 or 6. Sandrine, do you recall right offhand?
That's fine. I just want to make sure there's more than one.
Yeah, there was several.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Donna, just.
Anybody else?
Oh, and to update, there are 2 fire halls. There are 2 fire halls included on that bid. It was, if you look in the packet, it has a list of all of the properties that are included, but Petway Road Fire Hall and 2 Rivers Fire Hall 2 are both included on the mowing bid.
And that would be the old fire 2 Rivers that's over near the home that we've had for years and years. I think that's the one that the other 2 Rivers that changed. Now that you said that, I remember that. But also, Chairman Jordan, a couple of information items. We continue to put together the budget items, and we'll be bringing the budget committee once we're hoping to get the value of the penny. And of course, we're waiting as late as possible to get the latest updates on our sales tax to pull the budget committee together. But we do anticipate staying on track with our timeline and should have something rolling here in the next couple of weeks so we get those other pieces of motion in. The second item I have for your information, I want to congratulate BJ Hudspeth, who's with us tonight, hiding out from his in-laws in his car. We appreciate that. because we did appoint Mr. BJ as our director of EMS today through the interview process. And so we're very, very proud and glad to make that announcement tonight. Congratulations to BJ.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anybody else for the mayor? Ms. Lovely?
Diane?
Yes, Mayor, thank you for the updates and keeping everybody informed about this craziness we're going through.
You bet. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I had a question about
Yes.
how much revenue are we going to receive from the state for the schools, and then also for the county during this crisis? I mean, there's been a lot of money appropriated. I didn't know if the state or federal government was going to kick in some money to help offset some.
Dr. Beck, you want to address that, please?
Sure, I'd be happy to. We got a number, it's around $900,000. There's very limited parameters on this money. Basically, what we've been told that we can use it for, we can use 20% of it to address current ongoing budget issues that have come up due to the COVID-19. Two areas that we are very concerned with right now are nutrition. As you can see, we've been giving out thousands of meals, and yet we have no revenue coming in for that. So that's a concern for us. Also, daycare is a concern for us. And then the other, they want the other 80% to go towards next year. Things that we can spend on are, they want us to address what could be the potential loss in learning. So they're looking at us spending it on summer school. For this summer or next summer, we will not have summer school this summer. We will address it next summer. Tutoring, money for cleaning and sanitizing buildings, and money for technology to set us up so that if we have to close school again, we'll be in better shape in terms of technology. So those are the parameters that we will have to work under in regards to the CARE Act money from the federal government.
What was the number, Dr. Beck? I did not hear it.
It was I think it was $922,000 approximately.
Does that address your question, Mr. Binkley?
It does. What about the county?
Chairman, yes, Commissioner Binkley, the county, Governor Lee had in his original budget about $410,000 was coming direct to the county out of his new budget. Right before they finished the session and approved that budget, they doubled that amount. So we're actually getting somewhere in the neighborhood of about $809,000 direct to the county. Now it has some stipulations on what you can use that for, but they did add the COVID-19 cost to that. In Cheatham County at this point, we're very fortunate. We've had very limited expense. We've had some mainly EMS expense with masks and some overtime there. That's really been about it. COVID expense so far that's going to cost us. So we're actually going to end up with over $800,000, and even with the current COVID expenses, if we do not run into any additional expense, we're going to have about $800,000 to work on some of these projects, update the lighting. We hope the HVAC that we've been talking to Train about to do some of those projects in-house and even save that money, but we don't have to borrow the money for the utility savings to pay it back. We would instantly get the utility savings to put. So it's a good thing coming our way.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Binkley. Anyone else?
Ms. Beck,
Mr. Lyles?
I need to address Ms. Beck, please.
Okay, I'm here.
All right. Nice hearing from you. I have spoke with quite a few people that are interested, since they are having to homeschool their children as of now, that they are figuring out a way that they're just going to continue to do so. So are you anticipating a loss of numbers from kids coming back next year?
You know, it's hard to tell right now. For sure, we've had some people reach out to us and tell us that they are frightened to send their children back to school in the fall and wanted to know if they could see about doing some kind of homebound. It'd be difficult to speculate right now, but I believe the reason that they'd want to homebound is that they are frightened to send their students back to school in August.
Well, I get that. And what about doing some kind of a video deal like we're doing now for those students that are in school presently. Is that something that has been thought about?
Absolutely. We've thought about that actually for the last 2 years in terms of trying to offer online instruction. Not only, we're really trying to recapture some of our homeschooled students that are in the area. So that will be something that we will look at. Certainly, it's going to take, right now what we're offering, we're not offering a full menu of mandatory instruction. Our instruction right now, based on the Tennessee State Board of Education amended policy, is we are providing ongoing learning activities, but they're optional. And so, we would have to really look at what it would cost to pay teachers to offer ongoing. That would be an additional too. So, there's a cost associated with this, but on the flip side, if we can count them as part of our enrollment, definitely we've been looking at it. We will continue to look at it.
Well, it's something that we pay for. I have a college student, and he does online courses all the time. So that's kind of the field I was looking at. But I thank you for that. And one more question is, what about the children that are missing the meals? Are they, how is any of that being provided for, or can you give me any info on that, please?
Sure. Anybody that has not been able to, cannot get to the meal distribution, we are delivering. And so if you know of people that cannot get there, now I really don't want people that don't want to drive there. I want people that truly can't get there. If you'll send me their names, we'll be happy. We're delivering. So right now we are making and we have so many people coming through, but we're also delivering meals as well.
Well, y'all are awesome, and thank you so much for everything you do.
You are more than welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Lyles. Mr. Anderson, do you still have a question?
Yes, Dr. Beck, I was going to ask you, what are the parents, as far as what they feeling about the daycare situation, and will there be any daycare after school is out and anything for the parents and stuff they have to work?
David, that is a great question, and our intention, and it has been, is to offer daycare in the summer. We are just waiting on Governor Lee's, permission to do so. So we are set up, ready to offer it in the summer, as long as we have permission from Governor Lee.
Well, I was just wondering that once this has calmed down and stuff, they're talking a lot about using the temperature little gun things or whatever, where you can check kids, and if the child has a temperature, then they're not allowed to be in daycare that day.
Definitely, we will defer to Shelly Duke, who is our health coordinator. In terms, she's on the phone with the state and the county health departments every single week, and so we will have to set up protocols for children coming in and staff once we reopen. So those are conversations that we are having right now, but we're just waiting for more guidance from both the state and the county health department in terms of what we will do to ensure the safety as best we can.
Okay, just one more question. Any of the students who are like real on the borderline as far as graduating and stuff, I guess the teachers are there be able to work with them through the online as far as them to be able to graduate?
Yes, and so, maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, every teacher was charged with reaching out to every student who was not passing, and they were to not only reach out to the student, but connect with the parent as well and set up a plan so that that child had every opportunity to pass. And so that is our intention, is to make sure that every child has a success plan in place. Certainly they're going to have to do the work, but that every child has the opportunity to do whatever they need to do. We've extended the deadline to get work in till the deadline is May 15th.
And there's hope to have graduation ceremonies in the summer or something?
Our hope is to have graduation ceremonies as planned. And so we are looking at, again, just the permission to be able to do that. Our thinking is this, is if we can't have them as planned, then we've worked out a plan to celebrate these graduates in an alternative way. But our hope is to be able to do it as planned, and that it would be May 21st and 22nd. So about a month away.
Thank you very much, Dr. Beck.
Uh-huh.
Anyone else with questions for the mayor or Dr. Beck? I've got one. Are you still with us? Mayor?
Yes.
I've lost mayor's there. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. The question I have is, as the county and the state reopens for business, which according to the radio this afternoon would be the end of this month, if the numbers start to climb again, will there be any way to do any kind of free testing within the county?
I'm sorry, you broke up at the end of that, Mr. Jordan.
If the numbers start to spike when the state reopens, if our numbers in Cheatham County start to climb, will there be any way to offer any kind of free testing in any parts of the county?
Free testing is offered right now, Monday through Friday, at the Cheatham County Health Department from 9 a.m. until noon, and then 1 to 3 in the afternoon. I'm sorry, 9 to 11 and 1 to 3 in the afternoon. And it's a drive-through service. I saw several going through today when I was out there looking at the light pole they moved. So it is there every day, Monday through Friday right now. One of the things that the state is working on is to have that in place so that they can monitor quickly, identify, and then do the trace monitoring of who have you been in contact with, try to isolate that to keep that from spreading. But we right now, and as far as I know, till further notice, according to the health department, they will be conducting free tests every day, Monday through Friday. And they've actually even had a couple of Saturdays they've thrown in from 9 to 12, but definitely Monday through Friday right now till further notice. Anybody can contact the health department or just go by during those times and they'll give you the test absolutely free of charge.
Is there any, I'm not, would there be any way at least maybe once a week or that they could spread that testing out to where they could do the local account, the center of the county, like they're doing it, and then on Saturday or whatever day they could go to Pleasant View and go to Keystone Springs or Pigram?
Well, that definitely would be answered by the health department. I'm not sure what their limitations are, where they have to stay there, how actually mobile they can be. I'll be glad to reach out to Rachel Ellis, who's our director. She's director of Robertson County and Cheatham County.
I think it would be worth doing if we could reach out and do that.
Okay, we'll definitely find out about that and go from there. We did have a Zoom meeting this afternoon with all the elected officials out at Sycamore Square and Franklin building codes. Talked about what do we look like, we need to do in order to open. And now that the governor's made that decision on April 30th, we're working toward May 1st. Of course, we're still monitoring day by day. If it spikes up or something changes at the state level, we'll definitely be fluid. But we are working toward right now having the items in place, the mark-offs as far as people who come into the building, keeping them 6 feet apart, our employees making sure they have gloves and masks, hand sanitizer, all those things so that make them as comfortable as possible when they come back to work and when we put the public back in to these buildings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anybody else? Mr. Anderson?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
when you talked about the 6 feet apart, I noticed in Walmart, as you go into the store, they have the markers. Are we planning on putting the markers that would help the folks?
Absolutely. We're looking at, we had pretty good discussion on the Zoom with Mr. Teresa today because she's going to be the greatest challenge of her area in Sycamore Square because she has the most traffic and they're going to be backed up for several weeks. So for the first few weeks, we are going to get an extra security person to regulate going in and out of her office, have those markings regulated at the door so we don't get too many inside. So those things we're working out, make sure there's one way through, make sure the doors are open so the public and everybody's not having to use a door handle that could spread germs like that. So we're going through all those steps right now to be in place. And if it is May 1st, we open up, we'll be ready and have a comfort level with that. Or if it's May 7th or May 14th, we're going to be ready when the doors open.
One more question, Mr. Mayor. Are we going to require the folks coming in for license or whatever, once we get open, that they have to wear a mask?
Not at this point. I'm haven't heard that coming down. And plus, if we're going to require that, we'd almost have to supply them. And I was doing well to get enough masks for our employees to get us back open. At this point, I'm not ruling anything out, but we haven't talked about that because of how do you can force somebody to wear a mask? That gets a little touchy in personal liberties and stuff.
Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
what are the numbers right now in Cheatham County? And what were they last week and this week? And are we on the end up? Are we going up or coming down? Are we leveled? What's going on?
We're actually very steady. We have a case added about every 2 to 3 days. As the official numbers that came out this afternoon, we're at 22. We've been at 22 for this will be the third day in a row we have held at 22. Every surrounding county is double that or more, a lot more if you go to obviously Williamson or Davidson. But we're at 22, but the more interesting number and the number I really take note of is the recovered list. Today we tapped up to 19 recovered. So that means we have 3 active cases as of today in Cheatham County that we're aware of. So that is very comforting. There's no doubt in my mind we had a great advantage when Nashville shut down because so many of our folks work in Nashville going to work. My main concern was, well, we may keep it out of Cheatham County, but they're going to bring it back every day. But once that happened in Nashville, a lot of our folks are back home working from home for Nashville jobs, but they're not going to Nashville and bringing it back every day. But these numbers are very promising. And once again, if we stay in this zone, I feel comfortable about opening back up May 1st. But we're monitoring it day in and day out. We won't make a decision probably early next week. Another thing we have done is we have booked BioPure to come back through and disinfect and sanitize all of our public areas throughout all the county the last 2 days of this month, so that will be in place if we do open May 1st.
Awesome. I was just concerned that now that we're testing, we may find out we have more cases than we actually thought, and which is possible. But hopefully we'll stay leveled off and then fall off this thing. So thank you very much for your info.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Have any questions, let us know.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Sandrine,
Yes, sir.
what do you?
Okay. Item 1, budget amendments, county general. Jail, $401.20. South Cheatham Library, $588. County mayor, $7,600. South Cheatham Library, $75. Animal control, $20,398.39. Emergency medical services, $101,582. Budget vote, 5 yes, 0 no, 0 absent. Funding source, various.
Do I have anyone wishing to make a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Lovell. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Greer. Anyone with questions on any of the items? Anyone at all? Call the roll, please.
Diana Lovell,
Yes.
Eugene Evans,
Yes.
Ed Greer,
Yes.
Randy Lyles,
Yes.
David Anderson,
Come out pretty easy.
Yes.
Gary Binkley, I'm here,
He's dropped off the meeting somewhere. He's trying to get, too.
Ann Giroux,
Yes.
Tim Williamson. He is Chris Gilmore,
Yes.
Donnie Mayo. Yes. Donnie Jordan,
Yes.
Walter Wick.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna let it-
Have 10 yes. Tim, we just voted on the budget amendment for county vote.
I'm sorry. Would you repeat that, please?
We're voting on budget for county general. Yes or no? Tim Williamson?
Yes.
Thank you. 11 yes, 0 no, and 1 missing, 1 absent.
The motion has passed. We are still with you.
Item 2, budget amendments, drug control, drug enforcement, $2,750. Budget vote, 5 yes, 0 no, 0 absent. Funding source, contributions and gifts.
We have a motion.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Evans. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Anderson? Hands up. Discussion on it?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
It says, as requested by donors. So can someone donate and then request what that money is used for? Or is it just because that came from the Enhancement Coalition?
Mr. Mayor? Mr. Batts?
Yes, well, in this case, they can request, that is what they made the donation for, so I just notated that in the budget amendment.
Okay, I was just curious.
Anyone else? Call the roll, please.
Eugene Evans,
Yes.
Ed Greer,
Yes.
Randy Lyle,
Yes.
David Anderson,
Yes.
Gary Binkley, Ann Giroux,
Yes.
Tim Williamson,
Yes.
Chris Gilmore,
Yes.
Connie Mayo, Gordon,
Yes.
Walter Weekly,
Yes.
Diana Lovell.
Yes.
Of 11 yes, no, 1 absent.
Declare the motion has passed. Still with you.
Item 3, budget amendments, highway, public works, other charges, $2,269.37. Capital outlay, $10,000. Operation and maintenance of equipment and employee benefits, but $18,909.13. Budget vote 5 yes, 0 no, 0 absent. Funding source various.
We have a motion.
Motion.
Motion, Ms. Lovell. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Williamson. Discussion, anybody?
I don't know what's the question. I just came back on.
We saw that. It's item number 3 on the budget agenda. This is under the Highways Department. Are you
I
with
thought
us?
we were gonna fix that, where people couldn't build up that much time. You know, we talked about that. I guess we couldn't do anything about it, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there were 3 people left, and this is one of them. And people, that can do this, and everybody else will not be allowed to do this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Clerk, did you note Mr. Binkley back in?
I did at 6:41.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone have questions on these issues? Call the roll.
Diana Lovell,
Yes.
Eugene Evans,
Yes.
Ed Greer,
Yes.
Randy Lyles,
Yes.
David Anderson,
Yes.
Gary Binkley,
Yes.
Ann Giroux,
Yes.
Tim Williamson,
Yes.
Chris Gilmore,
Yes.
Connie Mayo,
Yes.
Donnie Jordan,
Yes.
Walter Weekly.
Yes.
Of 12 yes, 0 no, 0 absent.
Declare the motion has passed. Ms. Batts, we're still with you.
Item 4, budget amendments, other capital projects. Other general administration, $12,309.19. Budget vote 5 yes, 0 no, 0 absent. Budgeted funds.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Anderson made a motion. Mr. Evans has second. Is that true, Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Discussion on the issue for the item? Anybody? Seen any hands or anything? I'm sorry? Somebody speak. Seen any hands? Call the roll, please.
David Anderson,
Yes.
Gary Binkley,
Yes.
Ann Giroux,
Yes.
Tim Williamson,
Yes.
Chris Gilmore,
Yes.
Connie Mayo,
Yes.
Donnie Jordan,
Yes.
Walter Weekly,
Yes.
Diane Lovell,
Yes.
Eugene Evans,
Yes.
Ed Greer,
Yes.
Randy Lyles.
Yes.
I have 12 yes, 0 no, 0 absent.
Anyone wish to change their vote? It's a long time, I forgot those. Seen anyone? Declare the motion has passed. Ms. Beth, anything else?
No, sir, that was my final item.
Tell us about the sales tax real quick.
Currently, right now, through what Margie sent me through February, is currently at 15.4% increase for the year.
Did you say 15.4?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Keep in mind, as we go through this, this is the end of February, before the virus starts or anything else. So we're not sure how that's going to affect the overall revenue stream from that. Is there anything else that anyone wishes to discuss? Have a motion on the consent agenda?
Oh, Mr. Chairman, I didn't know you were going there.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
I just wanted to ask, what's the population in the jail? Are we getting reports every day what the population is?
We're getting them fairly regular. It's down to about.
We're around, last I checked, we were right at around 70. The ones that are in there are the most violent ones. We've been ordered by the Supreme Court. All the judges across the state have been directed by the Supreme Court to empty out our jails and prisons of nonviolent offenders. So that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
Mr. Sheriff,
Yes, sir.
how many did you turn loose?
Probably double that. I didn't turn loose, the judges did.
Yeah, I understand.
There were some I didn't want to be turned loose because we're running right back into them.
Yeah. They just love to come there, don't they?
Yeah. Some
Have some of them been rearrested there, Sheriff?
yes.
Do you have to let, I'm sorry. Do you have to let them go after you've rearrested them?
It just depends on the charge and the bond, but a lot of them have been, not a lot, but some of them have been released again. But those would be misdemeanor charges mostly. Any of them that are violent, domestic. We've had such an increase in domestic assaults and assaults in general. Those have been kept in jail for a few days. We're finding there's a lot more people are on edge these days, and our fights have just increased, and our officer safety has increased. We had one Friday that wanted to kill deputies when we arrived, and it was, turned into a hostage situation.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Anderson? Did you have a question, Mr. Anderson?
Did we decide anything else on about the bracelets or whatever the GPS tracking on the inmates?
No, the thing that was on the GPS stuff was be handled within the budget, so there was not any budgetary numbers to move around.
Thank you.
For those of you that are not part of that, the sheriff brought to us what the judge brought, which he's much more receptive now to electronic monitoring than he ever has been. And so they are looking into ankle bracelets and a way to monitor them for about $3 a day. Is that correct, Sheriff?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Anyone with questions for the sheriff?
Mr. Chairman, I got one more.
Yes, sir.
I just have a request on the jail committee, the committee of commissioners that are working with the architect. It just come to my attention. I thought Mr. Anderson was on it, but evidently he's not on that committee. I'd request that one of the first district commissioners or both be on that committee, since that jail can be built in our district. And we get a lot of input from elected officials in the town of Ashland City, and also just everyday citizens. So If you would consider putting either me or Mr. Anderson on that committee, it'd be greatly appreciated.
That committee was appointed, I think, by the mayor. So we will let him know your feelings if he's not here.
Thank
Anyone
you.
else? About any items? Yes, Mr. Gilmore.
This is for the sheriff. Sheriff, have y'all seen an increase in your thefts and stuff because of everybody being at home and also in the drug overdoses?
Yes, both. We have had an increase in drug overdoses, but also we've had a decrease in people wanting to come to the hospital. And BJ can touch about that. A lot of people aren't coming to the hospital, but we are having a regular. It's all interconnected. The thefts as well. We've had an increase in burglaries. Overall, people are getting antsy and frustrated, and criminals includes them as well. They're out there.
And thank y'all and to all the first responders for the job that y'all are doing during this time. I know that I'm hearing a lot of good things, and people are, they're still seeing y'all out and about. So there's a lot of positive about that. But thanks for filling us in about that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ms. Mayo?
What about the resolution for the election of alcoholic beverages?
You're going to have to get closer to your microphone, please.
Get closer to my microphone?
Yes.
How's that?
That's
what
better.
about the resolution on alcoholic beverages? It was in my packet. Did we vote on that? Did I miss something? Did I go to sleep?
I don't think you missed anything. Hold on. I missed it probably.
It's under the attorneys.
Mr. Bly, where do you? Sorry.
So this is the latest revision of the resolution to put on the ballot the question of allowing alcoholic beverages to be sold on premises. So that's commonly known as liquor by the drink. I've been working with the state election office to work through some issues because there was several questions about it. The questions were who participates and where exactly does it apply. The statutes are rather old and have been amended a few times, well, many times, and are confusing. So the state was helpful in working through those issues. And so the way that it has ended up, in order to, in Cheatham County, and this is different for different counties, so if you heard somebody else did it differently, that could be. But in Cheatham County, based on the population of our cities, the way it applies is that it would be a countywide vote. So everybody in the county would get to vote on it, not just the people outside of the city limits. And if approved, it would apply inside Pegram. Now, Pegram could subsequently hold a vote to opt out of it, but as an initial adoption, it would, if approved by the voters, it would apply inside Pegram. The other issue was that which ballot would it go on? And we had originally planned to do it on the August ballot. There's some, again, confusing language in the statutes, and it was the state's position that it could not go on the August ballot because it's the language that says you can't do it when there's a state primary on the ballot. So the next available ballot would be the one in November, the November general election. So those revisions are reflected in the resolution that you have. It does require a 2/3 majority of the county commission in order to approve it, to put it on the ballot. It is, it's not a hurry because since we're pushing it to November, if you're not under any time constraint to do it right away if you have any disposition to wait, but you can do it now. But this reflects those revisions and would put it on the November ballot if adopted by a 2/3 majority of the commission.
Ms. Lovell, this is your motion. This is your resolution. Would you like to speak?
Yes, I would. And I do have a resolution from the town of Pegram asking that they be included. So I know it doesn't matter now, but I'm just saying they're not going to opt out of it. They want to be on the ballot. And I'm making a motion to approve.
A motion by Ms. Lovell to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gilmore. Discussion.
Donnie?
Yes, sir.
I guess this would be for Mr. Blythe. Did I understand you say if we didn't pass this month, next month wouldn't be a time issue on that?
Yeah, I mean, if you put it off, it would not prevent it from going on the November election. I believe it's 75 days prior to the election. So you actually have several more months. The window for adopting it is still several more months. So that if you did put it off, you'd still be on track to put it on the November ballot.
I just wish we could have this vote in a meeting where the public could speak if they want to speak on this issue.
I think that's I'm sorry.
Ms. Lovell?
I think that's a good idea. I'll rescind my motion.
Okay, we have a motion rescinded. Do we have the seconds rescinded as well?
Second.
Seconds rescinded? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
Approve what?
The resolution that was drawn.
I thought Ms. Lovell pulled it back.
She pulled hers, but that doesn't prevent you from making the motion.
I'll make a motion to table it.
Second.
To win?
Well, until we meet back again where the public can voice their concerns about it. I've had a lot of phone calls about this.
Okay, so.
And I'm voting no, because of all the phone calls I've had.
And I have the exact opposite. I mean, people think the towns in the county have it. Why shouldn't the whole county have it?
I agree.
So, hold up a minute. There was a resolution which, if there's no motion made, the resolution goes as unfinished business to next month. I'm hearing Mr. Binkley say that's his motion anyway, to put it off till the next month that we are in a meeting where the general public is present. Is that correct, Mr. Binkley?
That's correct.
And I have a second? Mr. Williams is nodding, but I can't hear him.
Second.
Second. Any discussion on that? Call the roll, refer this to Mr. Anderson.
I just have one question. With Pegram, that's a town. It's that considered part of it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Call the roll. Ms. Gupton,
I'm ready.
call the roll, please.
Gary Dinkley,
Yes.
Ann Giroux,
Yes.
Tim Williamson,
Yes.
Doris Gilmore,
No.
Connie Mayo,
No.
Donnie Jordan,
No.
Walter Weekly,
No.
Diana Lovell,
Yes.
Eugene Evans,
Yes.
Ed Greer,
I want to ask to be clear, we are voting just to table this till we can meet
That's
in
correct.
person.
That's
Yes.
correct.
yes,
Yes.
Randy Lyles,
Yes.
David Anderson,
Yes.
eight yes, 4 no, 0 absent.
You want to change your vote? Okay, the motion has passed to defer it to the next meeting to which we are in session where the general public is present. Anybody else on any of those items? There is one more.
Well,
I'm sorry? Somebody?
Mr. Jordan,
Yes.
now if this runs into an issue where we missed our date in order to get into the next election, then that would be another ball game. I don't really know how I should or shouldn't vote here. I want to go along with this resolution. My problem is I want the people to be able to speak, but what if they can't come to the courthouse 60 days from now and then we've missed our vote?
Well, the motion that was passed at any meeting after this can always be redone, rescinded and redone. Is that not right, Mr. Bly?
That's correct.
So next month, if some member said, let's say that we're not in session where the public is there, and some member wanted to bring this back as a new resolution, they could still do that.
Thank you for that, Randy.
All right, and I'm just worried about us staying in our time frame so that if we know we can't miss the primary, but we can be in the general, and I think it should be on the paperwork. So general election, that is. So that's all I'm concerned about.
I think based on what I just said with Mr. Bly, I think you'll be able to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Donnie,
Yes, sir.
what Gary's motion was to not bring it back up till we met in where the public was there.
Mr. Bly?
That's right, but that motion could be rescinded at a subsequent meeting that is virtual rather than with the public there. So basically the commission can change their mind later.
So when would be the latest we could vote on it?
You know, I just made myself a note to check on that. I think it's August, but I will let you know for sure at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Does that answer you, Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other committees that need to report something? There was a committee that met last month on adding a new member. Mr. Anderson, you remember on the person?
That was, yes, sir. That was the beer board where I was left off the beer board.
No. It was
That wasn't that?
It was Ms. Gupton. It was, the appeals board. Did we not vote on the appeals board last month?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
You only voted for the new person.
Yes, that's what I'm
You voted for all of them.
We only added one person to the appeals board.
That's the Board of Equalization for Miss Cindy Burney's office.
We actually have to vote to add all the members to the board.
That is correct.
So, Mr. Anderson, are you putting that in form of a motion to add the other members back to the board?
Yes, I am. Put it in form of motion.
Do we have a second to do that?
Second.
I didn't know who it is. Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gupton, do you know who those people are?
I know Miss Yvonne Stinnett, Miss Brenda Montgomery, and then I'm drawing a blank.
Mr. Mayor, do you know who they are?
We voted for Mr. Chance, who was the new member.
Mr.
Mayor.
Jordan, Jean Hanna is one of them. I think that's when she left out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want us to call Miss Cindy Burney right quick?
No, ma'am. You got Mr. Hanna, Miss Montgomery.
And Gary Chance.
Already elected him. Who's the other one?
Stinnett, Miss Yvonne Stinnett.
You don't have to vote for her. So is it only two?
Ms. Stinnett is from Ashland City representative. The other
Correct.
one, I believe, is Dale Brinkley.
Montgomery, Dale Brinkley, you're correct.
Dale Brinkley.
I'm trying to go by memory of looking at them when they were there.
So the motion is to reappoint Mr. Brinkley, Ms. Montgomery, and Mr. Hanna. Is that correct, Mayor?
I believe that is correct, because there's the other one, that fifth member is appointed by Ashland City, and that's Ms. Danette.
Correct.
Yes, I think those are the three that we need to reappoint, put them back in place. They have training next month. They do it virtual, but they have training in May before they meet their regular annual stuff in June.
So Mr. Anderson has put that in the form of motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Who?
Second.
Somebody waved at me.
Close.
Wow. You second the motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir?
may I speak?
Yes, sir.
I just want to make the recommendations. If on in motion, just put your hand up so that the chairman sees your hand. Then he'll call on us.
I'm trying. We're working on it. Got a motion from Mr. Anderson and a second from Mr. Lyles to reappoint the board those three members we just discussed. Any questions on those three members? Please call the roll. Go.
Anderson,
Yes.
Gary Bankley,
Yes.
Dan Giroux,
Yes.
Tim Williamson,
Yes.
Chris Gilmore,
Yes.
Connie Mayo,
Yes.
Donnie Jordan,
Yes.
Walter Weekly,
Yes.
Diana Lovell,
Yes.
Eugene Evans,
Yes.
Ed Greer,
Yes.
Randy Lyles.
Yes.
I have 12 yes, 0 no, 0 absent.
Anyone wish to change their vote? All right. Before we get to the last thing, which is the consent agenda, if the state and the county opens back up where we have our regular meetings next week, also include the committee meetings. Please make sure at those meetings, you try to get everyone to stay at least 6 feet apart in the audience as well as at the table. So if two people come in side by side together, you can't make them do it, but please, chairmen, ask them to separate and get 6 feet apart to protect everyone else. Mr. Anderson.
So, Mr. Chairman, you're saying if like we have counter rules next month, then we will be able to have it at the David McCullough room and just have each person separated by 6 feet?
Mr. Mayor, that is correct if you open the county, is that correct? Can't hear you.
Unmute.
Mayor, unmute.
Okay, sorry about that. Yes, sir. The the governor's executive order that would allow this video to take place for meetings expires May 17th. So unless the governor extends that, then May 17th and our next commission meeting is May 18th. So if nothing changes, we should be back into our meeting on the 18th at next month's commission meeting. But as far as meetings before then, we can either use video if you so choose, or if we go the route of meeting, we do have to have definitely that separation. The other tricky part is having 9 or less in the meeting. So you have five members on the committee. You have 3 or 4 people show up. I'm not sure exactly what you do then. I would recommend staying with the video until that order expires. Everybody can do a Zoom meeting like we're doing tonight as far as your committee meeting. And then if everything stays on track, hopefully we'll be back in person upstairs come the 18th for the May regular meeting.
So you're saying that even though he opens the state back up, we're still under this no meetings until May the 15th?
The executive order on video meetings, it goes to the 17th. So it gives us the ability to meet this way if we so choose or need to in order to conduct any county business. So unless he rescinds that and brings it back at the end of the month, right now what his standing would be through May 17th would be the video meetings like we're doing here.
Would you check and see if that is an option or a requirement?
Absolutely. We can look into that.
So we will notify all the chairmen how that is. Mr. Bly?
Yes, I'll flag the whole commission on it so that all the members will know as well as the chairs.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Bly?
I was just going to say, I looked into this issue a little bit because Franklin was asking about for the Planning Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals, and there's not really anything in place to legally restrict attendance at meetings. So you can go the virtual route and do these video meetings. But if you have a live meeting and 100 people show up, you really don't have any legal way to prevent them from attending a public meeting.
You don't have any way for them to attend?
To prevent them from attending.
From the event, okay, I'm sorry.
But the government is supposed to be 6 states.
Let us get some kind of email out to everyone before we start next month to see what we need to really concentrate doing. None of us that I know of have a lot of people show up to any of our committees to meet. I think in a room this size, we're able to spread people out. Now, if it got crashed by 100 people, we would have a problem. We'll get some emails out to you in the next few days. Is that
About to
everybody okay with
flip out.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
our commission meeting in June is going to be the last Monday night. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Any information on budget workshops coming up? Have you looked at scheduling some of those?
We've looked at scheduling those. The mayor has. From what I understand, he's doing it based upon when Ms. Burney can give us the number on the penny.
Okay.
There are some items that will most likely have to be dealt with. I mean, we'll have to deal with them some way because the state's going to force us into doing some of them. Ms. Mayo.
You said the last Monday night in June, not the fourth Monday night?
No, it's always the last Monday night in the month of June.
I had that on my calendar wrong. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Too.
Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson.
Thank you. I just want to ask JT, you've been awful quiet down there, but can you tell us, I know they're doing a lot of construction there on Nashville Fabricators back there in the back. How's that going? And I know I talked to someone with Camus Boats yesterday, and they was talking about they went like half staff now, or they've cut down some. So can you explain any on that?
Yes, and I hope you guys can see me. I've had trouble with my screen and my Zoom already, but yes, Nashville Fabricators is doing very well with their construction, moving along nicely. They've got most all the hard stuff out of the way, so they're going inside now and still on schedule. I'm not exactly sure if they have a specific date, but it's all working well. I talked to them today. And Camus Boats has furloughed some of their employees due to production numbers that are just not there right now for them. So they're still positive about the numbers coming back and so forth. But for the luxury boat like they have and some of those prices, people aren't thinking about them right now. So they've slowed down.
Now, JT, are they still going? There's right there on the side. That's where they're building the showroom, correct?
That's correct. It'll be in front of where the National Fabricators building is now. Be a showroom and a corporate office.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Lyles?
All right, Mr. Chairman, would it be wise of us to go ahead and schedule this for a public meeting on the resolution on the election questioning permitting of sale of alcohol for the June meeting? Because, you know, after that becomes budget hearings one right after another, and we get overwhelmed in the classroom there with it. So it might be a good time for the mayor to publicize that.
You don't want to bring it back in May?
Oh, we're going to vote on it again in May?
Well, Mr. Binkley's resolution is to bring it back the first time we were back together in the meeting, which would right now be the May meeting.
Okay, never mind. I just thought we might want to.
If somebody wants to amend that in the May meeting, you could amend it to take it another month.
Well, I was just concerned about it having time to get out there in the public before this. I figured we want to do this early on because you know what happens in June and July with all the way August to September in budgeting. So I was trying to get some of this other stuff out of the way, but if I'm outstepping my bounds, I'll back up.
No, no. All I'm saying to you is right now it's to come back in May. You put it in a public meeting. But once
Okay.
we get to the public meeting, if someone wants to move it to the June meeting to give more chance for advertisement, it can be done.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anybody else? Mr. Anderson?
I'd just like to say to encourage folks in your districts, if you have restaurants that are still open, especially like me and Gary's district here, we have a lot of restaurants here. Folks are doing really good about going to the drive-thrus. Also to encourage folks, Cody's Diner is now back open. They're 11 to 4. So, and Vicolo's, they're 4 to 9, 4 to 8, and Sidelines and Don Poncho. So remember the restaurants where they're big on the dine-in, to encourage you folks if they get food there to also tip the waitresses and stuff good, because they're trying to make it. We want to keep, in other words, we want to make sure that we buy local and spend local to help our economy stay strong during this.
Amen.
Anybody else? Mr. Gilmore?
Mr. Jordan, can we get some clarification on where we are with the bidding process or what's going on with the bus barn? We talked about that last month, right before we got into all the COVID stuff.
I can't speak on it because I don't know anything. The Education Committee has not met. And I don't know whether the school board is going to bring anything else besides what they brought the first time back to us or not. Dr. Beck, are you out there?
I am out here. It is our understanding that we were waiting on y'all to vote on it so that we could take things to bid.
So you're going to be asking us to vote on as it was originally presented?
Yes, we had that workshop, and unless you are going to direct us to go back to the board, our board voted to move it towards y'all.
Mr. Gilmore, I would assume that would come up at the May meeting.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman, real quick, any word on what the cost to turn the Tucker Empson building into the sheriff's office is going to cost? We voted last month to set that out for bid. I don't know if we've heard anything back.
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, Chairman Jordan. At this point, the sheriff has met and his staff have met with Rudy, who they're finalizing the plans to get them ready to go out to bid. So until we get that bid back, we don't know what the cost will be, but it keeps moving forward. And if you don't mind, we also have back I know when the commission met in the workshop about the highway garage, it was 2 buildings. The recommendation was to put that back into 1 building. We have that sketch ready to go. So whenever we can meet as a group again out at the McCullough room, we'll be ready to put that up and discuss bringing it back into 1 building and proceed from there. So that's continued to move. Wait until we get everybody. We didn't want to do it in a Zoom meeting if we don't have to. If we can get back into regular meetings next month, try to get a workshop where everybody can get together to McCullough on that. But that's where we are right now. But Tucker Empson will go out he should complete the project, send it out to bid, and we should have some numbers back on that, I'd say in the next 30 to 45 days to bring back to you.
Does everybody understand that?
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Anything else? Do we have a motion on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Motion, Mr. Bentley, second, Ms. Lovell. Any discussion on the consent agenda? I guess we'll call the roll. Ms. Gupton, call the roll, please.
Gary Binkley,
Yes.
Ann Giroux,
Yes.
Tim Williamson,
Yes.
Chris Gilmore,
Yes.
Bonnie Mayo, yes. Donnie Jordan,
Yes.
Walter Weekly,
Yes.
Diana Lovell,
Yes.
Eugene Evans,
Yes.
Ed Greer,
Yes.
Randy Lyles,
Yes.
David Anderson.
Yes.
12 yes, 0 no, 0 absent.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion to that has passed. Before we adjourn, the mayor and I have discussed, I think the mayor is going to try to follow up the state to give us some flexibility about having committee meetings by Zoom. In other words, if the chairman of a committee was here in the McCullough room, could the members of the committee be in other places? It would help probably our attendance at our other meetings. And driving 40 minutes to get to a 30-minute meeting. So I think, Mr. Mayor, if I'm correct, you're going to try to follow that up with the governor's staff or somebody to see if that's permissible to be done, or possibly that we could go that direction in the future. If we go that direction, it would be where the chair could be here, or somebody on the committee could be here, have it on the full screen. The host could be somewhere else or not. But if the general public wanted to come, they could come to this room and see everything on the screen and participate if they needed to, just like if Jason, who is here, wanted to participate by using my computer screen. So it would give us some flexibility as far as people coming to our meetings, especially the committee people themselves. If Randy was in Alabama, he wouldn't have to drive all the way back for a committee or miss it. So we're going to try to look at that for those committees that wish to take advantage of it. Not saying we will, but at least give us an opportunity to.
Thank you for that.
Welcome. Ms. Mayo?
So you're saying it would be like a hybrid meeting?
Yes.
4 of us could be there and 2 or 3 could not.
Yes.
They could do it both ways. That's good. That's good.
Yes. Mr. Anderson, did you have something? Anybody else? Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a second. Mr. Gilmore,
Second.
you seconded. Mr. Gilmore, second the adjournment. Any discussion? All those in favor, we're going to do it this way. Raise your hand. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Meeting is adjourned.
Everyone be safe.
Everybody have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Everything to do, everybody.
In the meeting. Meeting's going to an end.
Goodbye.
Meeting
Thank you, everybody.